up, amigos? It's your boy Tello here, back to you with another video for today. It's been a couple days since I posted one. I was a little sick, but I'm getting back into the algorithm of things. I'm going to work on my full Bronzebeard review coming out here soon about Project Ascension, the things I do like and the things I don't like. You'll see that shortly. It's going to be a good video, and I hope you guys appreciate everything that I put into that product because I've leveled a character all the way to 60. I'm doing endgame content now, and I have a warrior that's almost 50, trying to get him to 60 as well. So I've been playing the game pretty damn heavily. However, though, it does seem like there is some drama going on for today. It seems like the senior analyst who is in control of this conversation right here that caused a lot of this drama to begin with is saying that there is an intended change that was meant to happen for people no longer to be able to do old raids within MOP Classic. Now, I've been out of MOP for quite some time, but I find this to be very funny because you are telling a big portion of your player base, who's also on a massive decline, by the way. No wonder why the WoW token is up in price. It makes sense because not many people are playing MOP as they used to. And you are telling them right now that they can no longer participate in a game called World of Warcraft and look at all the content and receive all the benefits from participating in any raid that they want, no matter what, even if it's not the current tier. Now, they're telling you now, some community managers are saying on some of their forum posts, go over and just do Wrath of the Lich King raids. Don't stress. You can still do Wrath of the Lich King and afford all your consumables, and then you can also buy a WoW token with the gold that you make. And, you know, when an expansion comes out early, this is what their community council is saying, their VIP people. And listen, I'm going to be honest with you. With all due respect, that's a load of crock shit. That's a load of shit to even talk about. The fact that you still took something out of the game that should have never been taken out in the first place shouldn't have been an intended choice. Who voted on that? Who voted on that choice? Now, was that choice based on bots that farmed old raids? Was bots farming old raids? Because if that was the case, talk about that data. Talk about that. Was it more bots than people farming old raids? Please show that data so we can have some comfortability in that and be like, all right, well, maybe there could be a change that you guys can make that we can work on as a community and talk about something as a decision to moving forward so we can counteract that. But if it wasn't the case, and it wasn't bots that were ruining the old raids, such as TBC, all the old TBC raids, then what the fuck was the point of changing it? And I'll tell you what the point of what we're really changing it for. I'll tell you, this is the God's honest truth. Because their prices probably in WoW tokens is not going up to their expectations. You have to remember, this is a company at the end of the day. This is Blizzard we're talking about here. It's all about prices. It's all about margins, expectations, seeing net profits.
Not wrong.
It's all about seeing things hit a certain outcome.
Yeah,
if
not wrong.
not coming in, you're not going to get a good outcome from it. And what's the outcome you get? Your old raids get butchered. The World of Warcraft leaves its content behind. It forgets about the old. And that's kind of their structure, right? We forget all about the old. We don't care about older tier stuff. We don't care that you visit the older lands anymore. They're all dead zones. I call them gray zones because it's old as shit at this point. You don't visit any of that anymore. They don't care about that. They care about you just sticking up with the modern times, making sure that you're always getting involved with the WoW token, and obviously GDKPs are a thing over there on the MOP Classic scene, which is good for a lot of people because they can actually fucking afford their consumables. However, though, in order to participate in these raids, in this content, people like to farm old raids. They like to do this because it's extra gold that they can get after their weekly resets. And you just cut off the legs of that. You just said, you know what? You're good. Don't worry about it. The WoW token, it's what? 2x, 3x the price right now? Just buy the WoW token. It's no big deal. You're chilling. You can afford anything with that thing. And this is what I am trying to say right now, is they are trying to push the WoW token more than ever, which is fucking insane to me. That's
it's not insane. They're a fucking multi-million-dollar company that wants more money.
If you're not going with that direction, and you guys
I
are,
don't
you know,
get
true to
it.
your
Yeah,
word,
well,
and say, you know what, this was a
that's
mistake.
what they're doing.
We should have made an announcement. We should have talked about this as first. Then why did you say
I
it?
can't believe it. It's like,
Why didn't
yeah,
you
well,
talk about
not
it
fucking
like a
paying
week
attention.
before? Get a community
Well,
reaction
fucking
to
no.
it. Have a voting decision on it.
What a
Have
dipshit.
type a
You
poll,
know?
anything. Fuck, you send out surveys to all your, you know, players or creators, that whoever got the surveys about what Classic Plus will be like one day. Should you include player housing? Should you bring the token? Should you do this, do that? What would you like in Classic Plus? You know what I'm saying? You send all this stuff to ask questions, but you don't ask questions about an ongoing live service game moving forward to actually talk about those changes. That's fucking crazy, bro. You guys already see that I talk about things with a sense of passion. Maybe there's emotion back behind it. I try to also
40 years old, you're saying that?
about stuff before I say it. But come on, man. What's
Well,
right
it's
is right and what's
crazy,
wrong is
bro.
wrong. And this right
Can't
here
believe
is
it, bro.
clearly a wrong decision to make. It's
45,
not a bad
bro.
decision to make,
You know, like-
especially for your game. But here's the thing: they're gonna get away with it no matter what. Even if people disagree with it, they don't like it, they bitch and complain about it, they're still gonna get away with it because this is how they operate. They turn their ears off, they cover their fucking eyes to anything anymore. Everything that we say is just noise. And I'm not even a part of the damn scene. I'm not even involved in it.
They are, you're doing fucking...
Man. This is fucking
What are you
sad.
talking about? You're doing
Because
shit.
if I was playing, let's say for example, if I was playing
Not even part of
Anniversary,
it.
we're all
Like,
doing
actually, you
Next
are, dude. Like,
and we're all on Nax, and we're all just
you're
like,
doing
really
fucking,
fun and all this stuff.
you know,
And then they told us, well, unfortunately, you're no longer going to be able to go back into Molten Core. You're no longer going to be able to go back into doing ZG or any of these older raids to get gold anymore, to get any type of materials or consumes or whatever. You're no longer going to be able to get nothing from that. That is horseshit. That is horrible. Imagine killing off your old content just because it's old and not relevant anymore. That's a decision that you guys decide to make. That's on your end.
Dude, I can't even read
You
that.
don't
Why
do
do I
nothing to
even have
improve
that?
your world. Therefore, you're trying to do this quote-unquote Classic Plus, which I really hope you don't forget about your old world then, too, when you're doing endgame content,
Alright.
and the rest of the world is just completely irrelevant. That's very unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. I hate to
That's
see
not
that.
far
I
in that,
hate to
dude.
see that, and I think a lot of players would not like to see
My
that
honest
at
opinion, I'm
all.
like,
And I think, having this type of discussion on a Twitter post saying that this was an intended change, that's crazy talk to just say to a community of people that are playing your game. And people might say, oh, well, you shouldn't have that much outrage about this. You shouldn't be upset about it. It is what it
why
is.
do they
We'll
want
just stick to the
election how much
platform.
versus
We're
other
going
players
to
have?
now, which is a great raid,
Is
by
that
the way.
something I
was
should
about
have?
to play that raid. Actually, a really good raid in Mob.
Should I just
But damn, man,
Bashing
this is unfortunate.
fucking
It's
roast
just
and
sad
soda?
to hear because honestly, this is not Mist of Pandaria, the world of Pandaria only. You're living in World of Warcraft no matter what, outside of Mob. There's other zones, there's other realms, there's other places that people like to visit. And they like to approach that content, whether you think they don't or not. People are playing more than just staying in the Panda fucking land. And to now tell people
Panda
they
fucking
can't
land.
do that anymore. You're
Dude,
not allowed
nobody's
to get
making
gold
you,
from those raids.
like, fucking play
But you
Panda
know
Land,
what? Here's the
so...
WoW token. Since it's going down right now, the player count, but the prices
Like,
are going
granted,
up.
you know,
This is
like-
the perfect time to, purchase the token. It just shows people that you're trying to push people to buy the token. Like, hello? Wake up? Like, this is not something that we're oblivious of. This is insane to me. And I really hope more people comment stuff on the forum post and keep throwing stuff at Blizzard saying that this is not a good decision. Whoever decided to change
That's
this,
fine.
what person said in their mind that they all agreed as a team to take this out. Think about like that for a second. Let's talk about that for a second. What person on the team agreed to take this out of the game? Why did they decide to take it out? Really think about it for a second. Why did they choose to take this out from the game? Did they all agree upon this, or was there an indirect decision that affected an outcome or projected data on their chart because of their WoW token was not getting purchased as much? Was it because of that, or because they are trying to
It should be
quote-unquote
because of
tackle a
that. I mean,
bot
like,
issue that
I don't
they'll
know.
never solve, by the way? So really think about
It's
that.
definitely not
Start
because
with
of
yourself
botters.
for
I
a
mean,
second
botters
and
ain't
say,
fucking
"Holy
doing
shit,
anything
wait a
anymore in
minute.
that game.
Why did they remove gold from old raids? Was it really because of bots? Was it because people weren't doing the content anymore? Because I remember doing the content. I was doing the content with my friends. We would go back to TBC. We would do the fucking Black Temple, and we would just get gold and chill and get mogs and shit. It was fun. We had fun doing it when I was playing that version of the game at the time. That was a while back. I enjoyed it. We would do it on a weekly. And now you're saying people can't get gold from that anymore? There has to be an intended reason. Every decision Blizzard makes has a reason behind it. Whether you like it or not, it's either affected by something that they are trying to see more out of, and that being money in this situation. More than likely, the WoW token is not doing too well on Mob, so they want more people to buy it. They want to see a more higher percentage. They want to see that
What
ratio of
do you
the
have
numbers
again?
go up a couple ticks rather than being down. They want to see if they can improve it. And also, this is a big thing for them because they're going to be
I
pushing
forget
that
now.
Wild
I mean,
Token
what was he
eventually
so bad about?
onto TBC. You're going to see it there too for the Anniversary Boys. And they're going to be pushing that as well. So, I'm telling you, man, and you could call me a conspiracy theorist. You could say, oh shit, Teller's got the tinfoil hat on again. That's totally fine. But I'm telling you the reality of the fucking world. Every decision's always backed
Oh,
by
this was the
something.
game at the end of
Whether
the day,
it's
man.
money or it's an actual genuine interest into the product. If it's a genuine interest into the product and they're trying to say, well, we've noticed on our analytics, we looked at the Excel sheets, we saw the graph and charts, and we saw that bots are farming more than ever in TBC than any other expansion going on.
Thank
all
God,
the way
I
up to
need
Rock
that.
right now.
Hold on.
And we've caught a lot of
I'm
bots
just
and their
installing all the
activities, and this is
remix
the reason
shit.
why we made the decision. Then say that. Say that right there. But if it's not the case, then what the fuck
Where's
else
that
is
one
it?
fucking thing?
You have a group of people in a room, 10 people, let's just say 10 people over there on their team. And they all just decided to say, you know what would be a good idea? Let's not let players get gold anymore from raids. That's a good idea, for sure. Let's put that in today. Let players find out about that themselves and then create drama on the forums because that's the only way that their game gets any publicity nowadays is by people like me or anyone else talking about bullshit, unfortunately, which is sad. That is so sad, bro. Like, I don't think any creator,
Yeah,
even including
bro.
myself, wants to talk about drama.
How old are
about
you,
this fucking
dude?
game. But when I see the players getting done dirty, I feel for these guys. They're average people like me, bro. They just want to play the game and have fun, do their raids, chill, get mogs, get gold, whatever they're doing in the mock classic scene. I don't hate players who play mob. I just don't like when people get done dirty. And this is one of those instances where it's really a done dirty type move. Imagine that. Nobody in that room was saying, oh, we're just going to remove gold from older content. That's stupid. You're just promoting your
What the
wealth.
heck?
Just straight up and say it, bro. If you have balls to say that, at least I'd be like, yo, it's the devil I know rather than the devil I don't. And I'd be like, holy shit. At least they just admitted it at this point. And if you want to just admit a bigger thing, which I will be talking about in my Bronzebeard review, at the end of the day, I think it's getting to the point in 2025 where you guys just need to come out and just say that everybody in the World of Warcraft scene, maybe not everyone, but I'm just going to say for a good portion of it, just want the fucking WoW token in the game. They just want to be able to purchase RMT. They want to be able to buy what they want, do what they want, and just everybody shuts the fuck up about it from now on. Maybe that's the reality of the world that we're living in. Maybe that's the case. And to be honest with you, from Bronze,
I've never seen something that's so fucking bad
I'll talk
about it.
about that when my next review comes out about the full product. There's some stuff that we're gonna break into.
Well, just play Eternal WoW and shut the fuck up. You know?
I don't mind
Come
seeing
on,
the
man.
truth as it is. Like I have no hairs on my
Chill
chin.
and play your fucking Eternal WoW.
You're always gonna get realness out of me.
Probably gonna
Overall,
fucking
I'm having a
close
great
that
time
shit
over there.
down
I
at
do
some
see
point.
some problems which I'll discuss, and I'm sorry
Yeah.
that this video is coming off, crazy with the bullshit going on. But man, there has to come a point, man, where this stuff stops one day, and we stop this horrible communication, this horrible understanding of your community, and not being just straight up and honest. Anyways, amigos, listen, I'm just gonna cut the video short. That's pretty much it. It's kind of ridiculous that this is happening in the first place to begin with all this bullshit going on. I'm not happy about it. And as a player who's not even involved in the scene, I'm not happy for you guys. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I'm going to go work on that Bronzebeard review now because there's a lot of stuff I have to handle with footage. I just have to shoot this outside real quick because I'm handling some stuff in the backyard. But much love to you. Keep on keeping on. Thank you guys so much for always watching the videos. And I hope you guys have a good one. We'll be live later on, bitch, alright? Much love to you. An AC-130 is coming by. I gotta go. Peace out.
Man, that sounds like my shit's about to get muted. Struggling. So, Surf said,
The
video on
year was
Asmongold.
2024, and on November 5th, despite numerous criminal convictions, an attempt to falsify his previous election, instigation of a coup, and being a serial racist, Donald Trump was once again elected to become the President of the United States of America. This was very different than 2016. There was no screaming neon-haired feminists to meme upon. Just a collective, silent, overwhelming horror. The majority of the electorate in the world's largest empire voted for a man who admitted to have referenced Hitler on his campaign trail.
They don't like it when I said that, and I never read Mein Kampf. They said, oh, Hitler said that in a much different way.
And had a guide developed by far-right Christian nationalist think tanks to transform the United States from a liberal democracy into a fascistic one. Once the Xanax had worn off and was too expensive to afford anymore, liberal pundits and think tanks began scrambling.
Woke, insisting that people use the term Latinx too far to the left on transgender rights.
You have to say they. No, you have to do this.
Stop with the virtue signaling.
Step away from woke.
Focus less on who is woke and more on who is broke.
Who was to blame? Surely, the millions of dollars blown on a giant orb in Las Vegas and an endless stream of paid speaking engagements from all of the top celebrities was enough to convince America that Kamala was brat.
Everything is in context.
The less demure cravers of brunch, oblivious to how genocide live broadcasted to an entire planet, fueled and enabled by the US administration seeking votes, may have led to a large percentage of the electorate being unable to swallow back the trolley problem. Not to mention how a partially unintelligible Joe Biden had not only hidden his clear collapsing mental and physical health, but had also refused to drop out of the race.
I'm staying in the race.
I'm saying a race, Jack. Fuck
I'll
you.
beat Donald Trump. I will beat him again in 2020.
I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, by the way, we're going to do it again in 2024.
Or prop up his successor properly. Nonetheless, they seemed determined to find the culprit elsewhere.
The progressive era should be over if they want to start winning again.
Did Kamala Harris move too far to the center and alienate some of the base?
It was Joe Rogan, it was
No,
Elon Musk
no,
getting out
not
those
that.
young male voters.
Like clockwork, they turned on the very minorities they claimed to want to defend. Was it Latin Americans who decided to vote for Trump more this time? What about black men? Or speaking of men, dear God.
That was a straight up, like loving energy.
Gen Z males. Surely, they must have heard that Kamala was going to be more horrifying on the border, or the whole most lethal army in the world stuff.
As Commander-in-Chief, I will ensure America always has the strongest, most lethal fighting force in the world.
How could
I'm
they want
gonna
that to
kill
be?
everyone.
Were they too not longing to be brat? Then, all at once, it hit them. Yes, of course. It was the podcasters.
Round two, here we go.
Theo
Hey,
Vaughn,
listen.
Andrew Schultz, Aiden Ross, and XQC the Canadian, and the biggest of them all, Joe Rogan. Both Vance and Trump appeared on the Joe Rogan podcast right before the election, but Kamala had backed out. Her team was revealed that they would have accepted a 1-hour interview if he had traveled, but it was DiGiorno Joe or nothing. So that was it. The final element that was missing to have Mila Jovovich the election. They had but to find a Joe Rogan of their own. The liberal Joe Rogan project had begun, and continues to this day.
They're trying to find their next Joe Rogan.
And is completely and utterly clown shoes. Let's start with the fact that there's already numerous liberal-leaning podcasts and YouTube channels, from Pod Save America to Midas Touch to David Pakman to Brian Taylor Cohen, who all ultimately, even if they have their criticisms of the party, operate principally to support the Democrats and to mock Republicans. As for leftists,
they pushed out Joe Biden. Of course they'll push me out too, you know? They're kicking us out.
well, the Democrats aren't really interested in content creators who focus on how housing and healthcare should be a human right, how the military-industrial complex serves as a rotating customer/influencer of the US government, or how that relationship can lead to occupations and materially supporting genocides. They aren't looking for from the river to the sea. Vote Democratic. Joe Rogan is a pathetically bad comedian.
That's what you saw. That's what I saw. You call me a liar? They had a gunfight in the dirt streets. They were fucking savages.
And an incredibly popular podcast host, in large part due to a rotating carousel of guests from
I
UFC
never found
fighters
him
to stand-up
fucking funny.
comics. While he claims to be non-political, the idea of trans people existing broke his brain so badly that he started inviting every far-right reactionary that would validate his own beliefs, and quickly became not only bedfellows, but an honorary member in the intellectual dark web. But this isn't a video on Joe Rogan. Aiming for the ivermectin-addled, rapidly aging millennial and Gen Z demographic who call him daddy may all be dead by the time you can create a Blue No Matter Who clone of him. Younger audiences are watching the likes of Adin Ross and XQC.
You know, my contract has no morality clauses. What that means is that I don't have to abide by some morality standard.
Red pill hucksters like Andrew Tate and Fresh and Fit.
We've been through hell together. We had people come at us. We've had death threats at us. People fucking laugh at every time we fucking go through some bullshit. People make allegations on us. People have tried to absolutely fucking destroy us. And you know who was around me the whole fucking time? These fucking guys.
Streamers and TikTok influencers with massive platforms, no censors or editors, with a penchant for attacking the most vulnerable members of society to please the cackling male youth audience.
Billions of people just living out their lives. Oblivious.
In April of 2025, it was reported that the most viewed streamer in the entire world based on watch time hours was this man.
Shit! He's on my belly. Look at him. He's right there. He got, oh God. Get him out of my... What are you doing, bro? Get out of my... Throw in the garbage can.
This was the height of our civilization. If we were to be judged solely on our ability to crown a champion of the digital age, I fear we would never see the kingdom of heaven. For those completely unfamiliar with any of this, you may at this point already think I'm trolling you, that this is a Rick rolling of sorts.
I have a single-digit number of actual real teeth left.
But I assure you, this is our timeline and reality. You don't got shit, Black Mirror, you broke-ass testicle trying to scare us. Oh no, I hope the future doesn't have the ability to relive some of the most profound and beautiful moments of our past. We build nuclear power plants for data centers so Israel can use Where's Daddy AI to target the largest amount of children to murder. The most famous person to come out of the internet is the unmummified version of the Saw doll, who somehow loves torture more, and the most watched streamer looks like the after photo of Mr. Beast surviving his own self-induced torture. So if this is the largest influencer in the streamer world, with the biggest platform to mold his young fans into the future men of society, what exactly is he teaching them? Even more disturbing is the fact that most parents or older, not terminally online folk, don't even know who he is. Joe Rogan may be a household name, but no one is asking after Trump won, where was the liberal Asmongold? He was barely mentioned in the discourse surrounding how young Gen Z men had moved further right, influenced by things like the Manosphere, Andrew Tate, and Tucker Carlson's obsession with smoking his balls into a brisket to own the libs. And we haven't even begun to scratch the gumblood and dead rat alarm clock surface with this vile creature.
What happened is that a rat got in there and it died. And so I was like, man, this smells really bad. We've got to deal with this problem with the dead rat in that room. So I closed the door. And that was pretty much about it.
Asmongold is the closest living thing to a Cronenbergian creation, surviving in conditions that would kill most life forms, making him not only one of the most revolting public figures on the inside, but on the outside as well. How did we get here? And can he be stopped?
Well, stay tuned because we're going to be telling the complete Asmongold story through the tried and tested method of obnoxiously self-indulgent video YouTube essays.
Zach White's beginnings are a meritocratic nerd's wet dream.
Got a job.
Got a job. Just call the IRS. Got to start.
Got a job.
The IRS has seasonal and temporary positions open right now, starting at over $10 an hour.
While working as an Internal Revenue Service agent in Austin, Texas, Zach began uploading videos based on his one true passion. World of Warcraft.
Oh wow,
He
and I'm
became
playing
obsessed
World of
with
Warcraft.
online MMORPG and
How am I
dedicated
not like
himself to learning
Asmongold?
everything about the game. Hours upon hours of grinding and flawless raid coordinations eventually made him a competitive force in the WoW sphere. In 2014, he started posting guides and tutorials to the game on YouTube.
What's up, y'all? Guess who? That's right. It's me. It's your boy Asmongold. Today, I'm going to show y'all how to get the Drake of the South Wind. That's the amount that drops from Alakir and Throne of the Four Winds in Oldham.
And while it seems like the most normal thing in the world to do today, back then, there wasn't a surplus of how-to videos related to WoW. And unlike the other ones that were around, he was unique in making the content entertaining.
What's up, y'all? It's me. It's your boy Asmongold. What's up, y'all? It's me. It's your boy Asmongold. What's up, y'all? It's me. It's your boy Asmongold. What's up, y'all? It's me. It's your boy Asmongold. But to be the best, you have to be obsessed. Do you want to be obsessed with the game? If the answer is yes, then do it. 12 to 18 hours a day, that's what it's going to take to be the best.
His guy that naturally feels like one of your buddies persona gained him a cult following that eventually began to grow rapidly. What was unique about his channel was his style of complaining.
And I want to make sure that the kids that are my age whenever I started playing the game, the kids that are 16 now, 14 now, even maybe 20 or however old they are, I want to make sure that they're able to experience the same thing that I experienced whenever I started the game.
He loved the games developed by Blizzard so much that he would often fiercely critique the company, trying to push the developers to listen to him and his community in order to make the products from Diablo to
Yeah, now
Overwatch
the irony is
more
that
of
he
what
doesn't
they
play the
wanted
game
to
at all
see.
anymore.
I'm probably not going to be as animated as I was besides that fucking moth, because I took a nap earlier today, and that nap lasted for 9 hours.
Eventually, he moved to the Twitch streaming platform and struggled for a few years to build an audience large enough to sustain him financially.
What's up, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today I've kind of got a little bit of an announcement to make, is that I'm going to start streaming.
But hard work and slurs paid off, as he would break 100,000 followers by 2016. By the time World of Warcraft Classic was released in 2019, he would hit over 260,000 concurrent viewers on stream, making him not only one of the largest streamers ever on Twitch, but one of the biggest in internet history. Well, it would be easy to discount his success as simply being one of the first people to consistently upload World of Warcraft related content and do it with flair. A large reason for his success was his candid streaming style, often divulging personal information and stories related to his own life, and cracking jokes which garnered him a massive fan base of people who never saw him as an internet celebrity or influencer, but just a gamer that they could be friends with.
Whenever I would see would have tweet, it's just like, I've been to college, I go to college right now. I live in Texas. It's hot, okay? I go to college, and less than 10% of the girls there are wearing the same clothes that the female streamers are wearing on Twitch, more than I'd say 80% easily. Okay, why is that? You're in your house. Like, what is your is your house the sun?
His content was almost exclusively related to gaming, and his fans formed a parasocial relationship with the world's premier WoW streamer. Eventually, he would launch the management company One True King that signed numerous other major name streamers like Mizkif and Tectone under their management. He would also launch an online custom PC store called Starforge Systems, which initially received criticism due to its very high prices, but nonetheless became enormously successful in the casual and pro gaming market due to its founder being one of the largest professional gamers in history. Without question, Asmongold had become an obscenely wealthy titan of the industry, dominating the online gaming entertainment market from all corners. In only a few years, the name Asmongold was not only synonymous with MMORPG gaming culture, but the Twitch platform itself. And speaking of what's in a name, we need to talk about what his character was called within the game.
death crept nearer, and the void called out to Alleria, begging her to give over her soul entirely and become a manifestation of power even greater than her sister. It was tempting. Oh, it was tempting. Abandon your flesh, came the whispers. Abandon your flesh. Alleria hearing the call of the void.
In a tutorial video uploaded in 2015 entitled Warlords of Draenor Power Leveling Guide 90 to 100 in 5 to 8 hours, you might be slightly confused by some of the comments. While most are related to the guide itself, some are curious as to why Asmongold named his mage Anders Nordic.
In 2011, during just one afternoon, Anders Breivik embarked on a murderous rampage that would send shockwaves around the globe.
We all had this sensation that an act of war was really taking place.
In 2011, a neo-Nazi named Anders Breivik committed the largest attack on civilians in Norway since the Second World War, first by detonating a bomb, and then subsequently by shooting and killing another 69 people. He claimed his main motivation for the attack was feminism and Islam destroying European culture, and called for the mass deportation of all Muslims from the country. In a bizarre moment of the trial, the defense showed photos of a character he had created in the popular video game World of Warcraft. Apparently, he had pretended to be addicted to the video game as a smokescreen to distract his mother, whom he was living with at the time, from his real goal of planning the massacre. As Anders sat in the courtroom smiling, on screen was his username for the world to see: Anders Nordic. When someone on Reddit pointed this out, Zach himself replied with the following statement.
It's my version of inappropriate and dark humor. Don't worry, I'm not some kind of white supremacist or whatever. If you're Norwegian, I'm assuming you don't play in the US realms, but if you do, feel free to report the name, and if it violates the rules, I'm sure it does somehow, then I'll have to change it. I've made tons of videos on YouTube, some of which